Okay, guys, welcome back to Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy. Trying this again with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Thanks for bearing with us. Had some technical difficulties this morning, but we are back up and live with you from sunny Colorado. Let's go ahead and take a quick check. It looks like we are looking good. Yeah, we got our notification there. Let's go ahead and get over to today's market. And let's see if we can get our screen shared properly. I think we are good to go. We have we have a big dip in the market today, as everybody can see. Bitcoin down to 100K. 100,683. Ethereum down to 2,196. XRP dips below $2 here, $1.96. Guys, what do you think? Sorry, I'm just making sure we're good because we had technical difficulties this morning, and I want to make sure we are up and live. Let me just check my feed here. Yeah, guys, don't flip out about the crypto markets. I mean, never financial advice on the channel, by the way. Please tap that like and subscribe down below. It looks like we're looking good here. Everything is on target as far as our technical end. Let's get back to the show. Today's episode, by the way, is right here on the board as, whoops, let me go ahead and, I love it. I love it. There we go. Does SWIFT need the XRP ledger? Excuse me. I am saying they do. People who are paying attention are saying that they do. Why? We're going to cover it this morning. Hope you guys are doing great here on a Sunday morning. We are coming to you live from sunny Colorado. And we love all of you guys. We hope that you are having a nice wake up. Over on the East Coast, you were looking, where I hail from, you were looking at about 10:15 or so. Welcome to the late morning wake up, and for those of you who have been up and at 'em all this time, welcome into the channel. I am going to give you a very quick well, I'm going to tell you right now that our largest base, as far as our viewership, is actually Manhattan. I'm going to run them down in order really very quickly here. It's New York, it's Manhattan, LA, Sydney, London, excuse me, Miami, Houston, Onitsha, Anambra, Nigeria, Chicago, Melbourne, Australia, Austin, Texas, Toronto, Canada, Atlanta, Georgia, Lagos, Nigeria, Seattle, Washington. We love you, Nigeria. What up, guys? How you doing? We're coming to you from a pretty far away here. I'm loving this, that we're reaching folks across the globe here. Welcome, Nigeria. We love you. We love Seattle. We love the Bay Area. Over in San Fran, we love the Portland area, Portland, Oregon, Orlando, Florida, Philly, San Diego, Dallas. And I did that to show you that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. About 30, over 30 cities and countries that are watching us. And our hometown is number 31 on the list. So I don't think they really like us very much around here, but that's okay. We're going to continue. Maybe they'll change their minds. All right. We're trying to have some fun. Let's get back to our quick little screen share. And let's get to our very quick Caleb and Brown mention, because, yeah, yeah, It still sounds. Sorry, my tech guy is giving me. Huh. Okay. Okay. I think I might not be talking well into the mic. Maybe that's better. How is that, tech guy? Good morning, Luke. How are you this morning? And good morning, everybody. And I always feel I have to apologize for the moths that fly around our set because we have lights on this set that could literally light up the freaking World's Fair. I'm not kidding. Let's get back to Caleb and Brown. You're going to want to consider them. Now, here's the deal. Here's why you want to consider Caleb and Brown as a brokerage service. Now, these are all these things that I offer are simply for educational and um, it's simply, I mean, it's sometimes for entertainment. I don't know how entertaining we are. I think we are slightly entertaining. It's for informational and educational purposes, however, only. We are not financial advisors. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I am a talking head. That's what I am, a researching talking head, okay? That's what I do. What you do with your money is your business. You may want to consider researching some things I research. I don't know. That's up to you. One thing I have found is Caleb and Brown, they are a one-to-one backing. Do not commingle your funds like that dude from that other company did that I won't mention his name because I mention it each episode. I'm giving too much spotlight to that knucklehead. No, they're very careful with showing you as well. You can see that they are one-to-one backed. They do not commingle funds. The money that you have in there is your money that is there available to you when you want to pull it out. They are 24/7 concerning your crypto broker that you can talk to anytime you want. So awesome, so kind, so competent. I mean, all these things totally matter when you want to deal with a company or somebody. You want somebody who's nice, who's kind, competent, there for you, responsive, not kind of just trying to almost help you, doing the bare minimum, like when you walk into some store or something sometimes and it's like, geez, are they trying to even help me? Yeah, these people are really trying to help you, actually. They're safe. They use Fireblocks Custody, which is institutional grade security. And and by the way, there's no limit, and you can set buy and sell orders. You can also pull off, if you want to pull off a mil, 2 mil, you can pull that off in one day, in a one shot. It comes off as a wire transfer. I'm educating now. This is not financial advice. You have to check with your own bank because some banks won't play ball with the old crypto. Most do, though. In my opinion, more will moving forward here in the future. But what you do is you go ahead and talk to your bank. You make sure that everything's hunky-dory with the what you're using for exchanges. In this case, it would be Caleb and Brown, and one would do a test transfer and then make sure that the neural pathway or neural link, so to speak, has been created between concerning the wire link between Caleb and your bank. They know each other now, and now when a large transfer comes through, before it does, you're going to want to talk to the head of your bank, and then you're going to want to say, hey, I got a big something coming through here. Very shortly, we've got a big crypto run. You've probably seen crypto going crazy. Yeah, I saw that. Bitcoin is... When your hairdresser and your taxi driver are telling you about the crypto, that's about the time that you dump and use the newcomers as your exit liquidity. Don't worry, there will always be another time. It's nothing personal, and this stuff is not emotional. You're doing this to... I'm doing this. I don't care why you're doing this. Why do I always say you? Too much use. That sounds like I'm giving you advice, and I'm not. I'm educating. What I do is I buy the shit out of a market like this, son. That's what I do. I don't care what you do. Yeah, that's what I do. I buy the living shit out of a market. Oh, and she's still a dipping. Oh, yeah, because we were at 100,000. Oh, yeah, there we go, below to 99,000 for a Bitcoin. 99,954 for a Bitcoin. I said don't get excited about the daily charts. I get so excited when there's shit tanks like this. Here's your Black Swan event, peeps. Told you one was coming, and here it is. I told you so. I hate that shit. Don't do that, Frank. I did tell you that we had a Black Swan event coming, though, very nicely, and here it is. Well, here's one of them. I think we have a bigger one coming too. I think we're going to have a black swan event involving Tether, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, you saw it here first. Dipcoin. I'm going to call it dubbed Dipcoin now. It's called Dipcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin Maxis. Dipcoin dipping below 956,000. 99,910. Boy, she moves fast. Up or down. 99.8 now. We're just going to have fun watching this. I said don't do this. I'm sorry, but now I'm doing it. Oh, shit. How fun. Let's get on the candles. Oh, this shit's so fun. Oh, my God. Oh! Now, look at here's what we do on the channel. We buy the shit out of this because we don't know if this is the bottom or not. We could have bottom ski here. Let's see. Let's get out here. Oh, let's get out here. I don't know. Trump pump. We know we're not going back below Trump pump. So we're really kind of, in my opinion, well, we gonna not hold that support level? Oh shit. Bitcoin, Dipcoin. Calling it Dipcoin. You call it Bitcoin, I call it Dipcoin. Taking a big old Dipcoin. A big old dip, 99,959 for a Dipcoin right now. Wow. Crazy shit. XRP down to $1.95, guys. Oh, shit skis. Wow. Down to $1. It's buy time for me. I don't care what you guys do. Don't do anything because of what I say or do on this channel. This channel is never for financial advice. I have said it a gajillion times. That's all this channel will ever be, is for only educational and informational purposes only. And sometimes some entertainment. Let's see what, I'm curious. Who else is doing what here? Chainlink, taking a look at these dipperoonies. Let's see who's got the big dip on the day. Dipcoin's only got a 3.71 on the day dipper happening. I'm expecting more. Cardano took a dip down to 52 cents. That makes me say, oh, look at Toncoin down 8.15%. Hedera down almost 10%. Oh, wow. When should I buy Hedera? Everybody asks me. I don't know. It's up to you. I can't tell you when to buy. Look at VeChain down 10%. What's a good entry point on VeChain, Frank? I don't know. I'm not here for financial advice. I am looking at VeChain down fucking 10% on the day right now. Oh, shit. Filecoin down almost 10%. I got your future winners right here. Never financial advice. Oh my God, you guys. Look at Filecoin. Guys, if you can't see the truth of what Quant is, what Filecoin is, what VeChain is, what XRP is, what XDC is, what XLM is, what Algo is, what IOTA is, need I go on and on? Now we got, what is it? Zebek. What is this new one now? We got another one. I think it's payments for every, I don't know. There's just so many crushers. Never financial advice. And I do mean crushers because go ahead and play this back 3 years from now. Never financial advice. And take a peek at where the crypto market is versus when this video came out. And you tell me what you think. I did not need to be any kind of a fortune teller whatsoever. Would you look at Quant? Now, Quant has an all-time high of $428.38. She's at 87 bucks right now. Now, I know what I know about Quant. We don't cover Quant per se on the channel. I'm a crypto researcher, so I cover lots of stuff. And what I'm going to tell you is that given my, never financial advice, we're going to get to the topic, don't worry. Given my good research on the channel, I am going to tell you that holy shit, if you had eyes on Quant, to be very careful about things I say. Since I have eyes on Quant, We on the channel do what we can to buy the living shit out of it when it's low, to the best of our ability. Yeah, because quant is going to very likely pull in the next few years. Never financial advice. A calculator exercise in the next few years. We're saying that, where the hell my calculator go? I hate when my phone does this. I'll restart it and it moves shit on you, right? Sometimes. So come on now, leave shit in its place now. All right, you take quant. What was it? $4.25 per share. I would pull a 5x. That's $2,125 for a quant. Never financial advice. Never financial advice. I think it's at like $90, isn't it? What the hell's quant at? Quant is at $87. So at an $87 quant, let's see, we said it was $2,100 when it goes 5x. So at $87 quant, oh geez, I'm not going to do it, but somebody says, you know what, I'm going for this crypto thing. Let me try that quant for 10 grand. Calculator exercise. You got yourself 114 quant, just about 115 quant. You're like, big deal. That's not really crap. Will you tell me I got almost 115 shares of this thing? What the hell's the big deal? Yeah, but when she goes to that $2,100, you got $250,000 for putting in 10K. Not you, me. This fictitious person, not you. We're not a financial advice channel. We would never tell you what to do with your money. It's not our business. We would never be responsible for anything you do. That would be the most ridiculous thing in the world. I am showing you simply a calculator exercise. Let's get to today's topic. Let's see what knuckleheads say. Not knuckleheads. I'm so... Frank, would you please be nice? Let's see what... first of all, before we get to the topic, I love to tease because I'm a pain in the ass that way, and I get complaints in the comments. You don't get to the topic. Relax. I get to the frickin' topic. Quit you bitching. All right, hang on. Let's get over to... I'm curious. One that I do not check, and I need to, is... Cardano. Let's see what Cardano is doing. It takes just a sec to load here. Yeah, see, there you go. And it's not even finished, but it's trading about 600K. 600,000 Cardano are being traded in the past minute. 500,000, 500,000 in the past minute. Coinbase, KuCoin, Upbit, Kraken, BitBuy, I can't keep it up. Those are going too fast. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I did share the screen. Okay. Hey, it's going too fast. Try to keep up with that. Okay, so USC KRW, which we found out, as you are well aware, is South Korean won. And by the way, I struggle. I'm like, TRW. Wait, where is it? What's the one that comes from TRW? Is it Gigabyte? I'm curious about you. Hang on, we're gonna get to today's topic. Relax, guys. Quit you bitching. I hear you guys bitching. I hear the comments now. Later, I'm gonna get them in the comments. It takes so long to get to the topic. Yeah, I bet you're that patient too with investing, huh? And holding long term. Yeah. See, some does come. Some XRP does come from KRW, you know. South Korean won. And then there's TRY, which I forgot. Oh yeah, TRY right here. Anybody know what that is? Drop in the comments if you know what TRY stands for. Do ya? We checked it. I know what it is. TRY is the ISO 4217 or 4217 messaging code for the Turkish lira. So that's when we come from Turkey, and that's why it's got the Turkish flag. So I'm like, oh, I thought that looked like Turkey. Now, hang on. Sorry, because I was not aware of that. Yes. TRY is the 4217 ISO messaging code, International Standard of Operation messaging code. You know, we just got a new messaging code, ISO 20022, of course, but that's the currency code for the Turkish lira. The Turkish lira. All right. Today's topic, we'll cover what I like to cover what AI says on the shit, then we'll get into my notes. No, SWIFT does not need XRP and the XRP ledger to thrive as the world's payment messaging service. Bullshit! Fucking bullshit. Why? That was fun. I hope that wasn't too loud. That was for dramatic effect. For potency's sake. Guys, why is that fucking bullshit right there? Sorry, I gotta swear when I see something's bullshit. Sorry, I hope I'm like, Frank, you better be sharing your screen after all that. Yeah. Here, let me make the cursor super huge like that. What a bunch of bullshit. No, AI. Wrong. Sorry, it's really loud. Wrong. They do. Why? I'm gonna answer the question. All right, here's why. Because that question would hold true if the world is not fed up and sick of the bullshit of the value of the world, money, any type of value, doesn't have to be just currency, any type of value being moved across the world. That's how you know I'm pissed. I start spitting all over. I'm not. I'm excited. I'm passionate. Bullshit on this statement that is fucking completely wrong. You know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. They know it's wrong. That is misleading. Oh, that's misleading. Here's the deal. Here's why that's wrong. That acts as if that would be correct if the world was not sick of money and value not moving at the speed of light, at the speed of the text message, the email, the way we move information today. The only thing, if you observe and stop and put your thinking cap on for a second, that does not move like that, including we can video chat with each other from the fucking desert to Manhattan, with each other, with Starlink especially now, from anywhere on the planet, from the jungle, anywhere, yet we can't move value and money. Yeah, you know, we don't stop to think about that unless you do what we do here on the channel, unless you're into finance, unless you see that you see it's an underlying gnawing thing that you never realize what the issue was is one of the big issues or tie-ups or constraints living as a human being in our world of convenience today. I say. Was I trying to rhyme? I do sometime. Is it good? I don't know. Ask the hood. I could go on and on. But, see, I couldn't think of one there. All right, I'm honest, all right? When the well runs dry, it's time to give it another try. Sorry. Guys, here's the fucking deal. Quit bullshitting me is what I'm saying. Quit fucking bullshitting me. You are full of shit. That is wrong. No, the world is sick of money and value not moving at the speed of light and information the way everything else moves. Information moves at the speed of light. Money value does not. It will, coming up here with crypto. All right, here's the deal. So bullshit, I call bullshit AI. Nice try, AI. But here's the deal. AI only knows what AI gets told and gets fed. See? So that's what AI is being fed, is that no, SWIFT does not need XRP and the XRP ledger to thrive as the world payment messaging center. Let's see why they're saying, well, XRP and the XRP ledger, or XRPL or XRP ledger, offer potential advantages and could potentially disrupt or complement SWIFT services. Really? Okay. SWIFT, okay. I could just stop and rip everything. I gotta just move on. SWIFT has been the dominant force, by the way. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. I think I wrote it here. Right here. Sorry. You can't see it when I do that. Sorry. At least I remembered. It's right here. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. Operating since '74. As the clunky old animal who's had injections of animal steroid and genetic modifications over time, but this clunky animal is just not the racehorse we're looking for, not the thoroughbred we're looking for. This Swift animal, it's very clunky, you know. Better get that thing on a higher protein, higher carb diet as it gets on in age, like you want to do with an old mare, um, you know. So what's going to happen is this old mare called this old horse called Swift is going to lasso up and horse and buggy and carriage up and hook onto Ripple XRP, the XRPL, as it zips with the UFO that it is, and Swift is going to go along for the ride, and there's a marriage there between the two. The Swift has all the banks. Swift is connected with 11,500, 600, something like that, banks in over 200 countries. And there's a marriage made in heaven. It's already been happening behind the scenes now, folks. Now, let me get back to my screen share here and get back to what Google AI is saying about this need of Swift for the XRP ledger. Let's see what else they have to say. All right. Swift has been the dominant force in international financial messaging for decades and continues to evolve and adapt to the changing payments landscape. Now, here's a breakdown of why this is the case. Swift's strengths, global reach and network, connects with over 11,000 financial institutions, over 200 countries, established infrastructure and trust, blah, 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 right? Yeah, it's for sure. Adaptation and innovation, right? Regulatory compliance, right? See, so they're not going to just try to come topple the big, huge giant. Why would you, by the way? They've already built it all. You come in as the crazy nitrous turbo, silly turbo boost as XRP ledger and say, now we're going to take this machine to the next level. She's breaking apart, Captain. I can't hold her together. We got to go back down to warp 3. Yeah, I just hope that the components of Swift and it doesn't just bust apart trying to go so fast through the cosmos. Challenges for XRP and XRPL adoption. Regulation, volatility, adoption, and reach. Regulation basically being solved now with the stablecoin regulation coming into play. Volatility and the XRP case being completed, and the world saying, "Oh no, crypto good now." All that changing now. Volatility not a concern. If we understood, we can get into that, but we already know volatility not a concern with XRP. Settles in 3 to 5 seconds. Adoption and reach. There's no volatility concern. It settles too fast. There's no if it settled in like 10 minutes like Bitcoin, then there'd be a volatility concern. Adoption and reach. While Ripple's partnerships with Bank Swift's network remain significantly larger. No shit. That's why they're jumping on the coattails. So how is that an issue? Conclusion, we're full of shit over here at Google. Oh, sorry. Careful about what you say there, Ferky. All right, in conclusion, while XRP and the XRPL offer compelling advantages and could play a significant role in the future of cross-border payments, Swift is not solely dependent on them. Never said they were. That's not what's required. We're not looking for... Okay, that's not the question I asked. I don't get it. All right, I got to ask my boy here. Can you... Sorry. Side note. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, what a bunch of bullshit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say things like that about sources and things. Yeah, the future of international payments is likely to see a landscape where various technologies, including both traditional systems or TradFi and blockchain or DeFi-based solutions, coexist and potentially collaborate. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for the update. Let me give you the update. Maybe I should be feeding AI. Let me give you guys the update. Swift is dying, is what I say, because Swift needs XRP, the XRPL, you know. Yep, I said it. The 50-year-old payment dinosaur. It's dying. All right. So Swift moves 5 trill a day. Okay. Here's the deal. It can't keep up with the demand because the money moves too freaking slowly. Okay. Transparency. The transparency of the XRPL is required. The rich messaging data of ISO 20022. Now I'm not on my notes. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even use the notes. I should just go, but I feel I get too scattered when I don't. The new ISO 20022 messaging, rich messaging data upgrade is going to allow now for basically kind of like in email, instead of the old Swift system, we're able to now send messages for pennies. And it settles in 3 to 5 seconds instead of $20 to $50, and it settles in 3 to 5 seconds instead of 3 to 5 days. And by the way, instead of sending a query through the system and saying, "Hey, where'd that money go?" Whatever with Swift, and it's like, "Oh, I don't know." You don't get really hardly crap for bounce back because there's not really a lot of information on it. Here with ISO 20022, rich messaging data allows for now these that are on this system now, IOTA, XRP, XLM, XDC. There's a bunch of them that now, and I think Cardano too got ISO 20022 compliant. And now it allows for a seamless integration of TradFi and DeFi, traditional banking systems, and decentralized finance systems to actually interface and connect now. And it allows for now, besides moving it quickly and settling it quickly, the money, the value, through the XRP ledger, it allows now for, so much on this. It allows for, trying to make it as concise as I can, but there's so much on it that I don't want to leave moving parts out, if that makes sense. Cogs in the wheel, because then you don't have the full picture. So that's basically how it works. I could stop there. That's basically how it works. I know I was going to get to a killer key crushing point there. Anyway, I'm going to be reminded as I move on right now. But the transparency of the XRP ledger allows for now, even if XRP takes a piece of this $5 trillion throughput that runs through Swift's pipes each day, we're looking at an insane increase coming on to the XRP ledger. Watch this market cap shoot like crazy, and we're still dealing with thin liquidity situation, or early batting averages averaged into your batting average, right? When you get to the end of the season, all of a sudden at bats don't change your batting average that much because you got so many at bats or so many players in the market. Similar to thin liquidity. That's my analogy for thin liquidity. I try to relate it to something that's somewhat accurate. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but it's similar enough. All right, cut the crap. People in the comments who want to dog me. Anyway, thank you for the nice people in the comments. And thank you for the people who dog, because you're supporting us. Anyway, real-time settlement, or RTGS, or real-time gross settlements, is another crucial part of why Swift needs the XRP ledger. It now allows for Swift to for this partnership to achieve real-time gross settlement through this new messaging and new banking system, I guess you can call it. It really is. There's only one company that's built to replace the bones of Swift, and it's Rips. Here's the deal. By the way, tap that like and subscribe, please, and don't forget to hit the bell notifications. Welcome into the live stream here early Sunday morning on Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy, with Frank the Crypto Tank. Now here's the deal. We're talking real facts. We try to keep this as fact-based as we can. The partnerships are real. These integrations are real. ISO is 20022, we know, is definitely real. All these banks who want to play ball, moving money digitally like this, have to play ball with ISO 20022. Let's see. I don't want to be too repetitive. I do want to cover things that beginners may not be aware of, though. The thing is, like, if you've been on the channel for a while, you're going to get some repetitive stuff on this. I want to be sensitive to that. But I'd rather not be remiss, so I will include where I feel I need to. Apologize for the redundancy, longer time crypto folks. Here's the deal. RippleNet's going to use XRP as the bridge currency to offer ODL or on-demand liquidity, meaning that a bank in Mexico and a bank in Japan can settle in seconds with 0 pre-funded accounts. So you know that Nostra Vostra accounts are now being done away with. There's about 27 trillion parked around the world, and these Nostra Vostra or pre-funded accounts that allow for that allow for the quick transfer of money, and Ripple to do its thing on the XRP ledger with on-demand liquidity, leveraging XRP and settling real-time gross settling in 3 to 5 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds, not 35 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds. 4 pennies, 0.00001 XRP is what it costs. Excuse me. GPI, which is Global Payments Innovation. That's SWIFT's initiative, which was launched in 2017 when they saw the writing on the wall with the crazy crypto bull market. And if you were around back then, crypto went ape shit. And I, like a dummy, was like, I guess it's something. Never financial advice on the channel. Boy, I didn't do it, and I should have. Anyway, we have I lost my train of thought on that. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, 2017. Yeah, because 2017 we had a run, and then Swift, of course, said, oh, shit, this actually could run and get away from us. We better come up with this GPI Global Payments Innovation, which is our answer to the crypto blockchain thing, which basically improve things to a 50%. It's not their solution, but it's just like, hey, we got to speed this shit up because here comes blockchain nipping at our heels here. We better speed our system up. It improved things to about 50%. So 50% of payments then arrived in 30 minutes with that upgrade. That's what it improved things to, but some still arrived in 5 minutes. Most of the rest. So that's not really, so that's the settlement time. That's how we're settling. So GPI is not very zippy. It still requires pre-funded Nostra Vostra accounts, billions of dollars trapped around the world. It's actually 27 trillion. My notes, I don't know why I'm saying billions. It's billions for most banks. Large banks will experience billions. Some will experience hundreds of millions or high millions for smaller banks. But they have to, respectively, to levels and degrees, keep these dollar amounts in these pre-funded accounts so that when you write a check to Aunt Sally and it goes to her bank, they can perform the transaction because the money's there and the trust is there. It's just clunky and slow. So Ripple now says, why are we going to pre-fund this shit? We don't need to. We can settle any currency. We can settle across any border in seconds, using the XRP ledger. So why would we not do that? The real cost, fees, float, and friction. Swift transactions are basically, they're so slow, it's crazy. It's like 10 to 15 bucks to 20 bucks or so. Currency fees, conversion fees, hidden FX or foreign exchange spreads, because you got to pay those guys for taking care of the spreads. That's how they make their money, those tiny fees. We covered an episode on that with liquidity pools. Meanwhile, Ripple transaction cost fractions of a penny. Like I said, 0.00001 per XRP of an XRP per transaction. And let's not forget time value of money, of course. And when funds are stuck in transit for 3 days, that's 3 days of opportunity cost. You can't leave big money tied up like that for 3 days. This liquidity is just a ridiculous difference, the ability with this liquidity. Moving forward, XRP and ODL offers, it's freaking nuts, you guys. Lost cash flow, increased risk. Ripple removes Ripple removes all of it. Faster, cheaper, fully settled. Transparency is yet another thing to consider concerning why Swift would want to use Ripple and XRP. Transparency concerning Ripple, meaning Ripple delivers the best transparency possible. Um, it's like, okay, here's the deal. I don't know if people realize that basically everything on a blockchain, contrary to popular belief, is being tracked. Every transaction is visible on the XRP ledger. I don't know if people realize that. Banks are using RippleNet to get end-to-end visibility from start to finish in real time now using Ripple's XRP. So GPI, Global Payment Innovation, can't even keep up. Yeah, it's Tracker. I mean, can't even keep up. Yeah. Concerning tracking, the way that we can track on the blockchain, it cannot keep up. They have a tracker. GPI has a tracker, Swift's GPI. But it's a clunky little sucker. Swift is trying to be transparent, and Ripple is transparent by design, the way they're created. All right, here is the nice, nifty little juicy pot. Both Swift and Ripple are adopting ISO 20022. I do not know if people realize this. They're both adopting this international standard of operation messaging, rich messaging data standard. Go check out ISO.org and see one of the biggest consortiums you've never heard of, called International Standard of Operations. They govern all the best practices, messaging standards for the entire planet, for everything from garbage removal to culinary practices to surgical practices to everything. The global standard for rich, structured financial messaging, also everything concerning financial goings-ons. They have messages, best practices, and messaging codes for all of them to coincide with these practices, these best practices. Go check out ISO.org, the largest consortium you've never heard of in the world. One of the DTCC is yet another one. Created very recently, by the way. I was surprised to hear that. But guess what? Here's the deal. Ripple was first. Ripple joined ISO 20022 standards body, as you well know, in 2020, the first DLT or distributed ledger technology company to do so. RippleNet is natively ISO 20022 compliant. Meanwhile, Swift is mid overhauling, trying while the train is moving. On a moving train, is trying to overhaul and retrofit its legacy architecture to try to catch up to what Ripple has already been made to do, the XRP ledger. By 2025, almost 90% of financial transactions globally will be ISO 20022. That's by the fall, November of 2025. Ripple's already fluent in the language, as you well know, and this means Ripple can interoperate with Swift banks easily. Think about this now. The entire banking world will soon be using the same format Ripple's been ready for and ready to use since day one, since their inception. Talk about being prepared for an opportunity. Is Ripple. Has been Ripple, is Ripple. Real world proof. Ripple and Swift already collide. Let's bring this thing home here. Santander. By the way, let's get back to this real quick, since you're seeing the truth of what the dilly is. And now let's get back to this nonsense. Look at when I asked the question. What a bunch of horse shit. I asked the question, does Swift need XRP and the XRP ledger as the world's payment messaging service moving forward in order to thrive? Messaging service for the world's banks, considering the fast-paced movement of data that the world has grown accustomed to in every facet of life, except for the movement of value across the globe. Well, because we need that, and will it change? No, they're saying people don't give a shit about that. Yeah, AI is saying people don't care about that. No, Swift does not need XRP and the XRPL. No, not really a valid point. Because I asked it based on this point. Does SWIFT need XRP and the XRPL in order to thrive as the world's payment messaging service for the world's banks, considering the fast-paced movement of data that the world has grown accustomed to, right? That we consume and everything now, in every facet of life except for the movement and value across the globe. Of value across the globe. No, it said no. People don't care about that shit. Nobody's concerned about moving value across the globe, across the globe fast. They don't care, says Grover from Sesame Street. Yeah, they don't give a shit about that. No. AI says nobody cares about that. It said no. Nah. It said meh. It was going to do meh. It said nah. Nah, Swift doesn't need XRP in the XRP ledger. Not really. Don't really need it. Yeah, I thought I was make sure I'm sharing the screen. Nah, don't really need it. Don't need it. How fucking stupid. Are you serious? Wait, hang on. Are you kidding me? Let me continue my little chat here, my little notes, my talk. How fucking dumb. Please stop swearing so much, Frank, on a Sunday. You little potty mouth. Now, here's the deal. What a bunch of bullshit that is by AI when we know that Santander, isn't that Spain, Santander? Pretty sure it's a bank out of Spain. I'm sorry, I just can't deal with the not knowingness. I must know. I must know. Where is Santander Bank located? It's Spain. Where is Santander, Spain, exactly? Well, there it is. Can I get some directions? I think I want to go visit Spain for a little bit. 15 awesome things to do in San... He's a sidetracking king. All right, let's go on vacation, guys. We're going to Spain. 15 awesome things to do in Santander and where to stay there in Santander. Although this coastal city may not be as popular as Barcelona, or I can't say that, Alicante, or Valencia, there are so many amazing things to do in Santander, and that looks pretty sweet to me. Yeah, it's a charming little city. How to get to Santander? You want to use the Steve Ballesteros Santander Airport now, folks. I thought this guy was talking about Swift and the XRP ledger. I was. But I love to get sidetracked on my next vacation route. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Is it worth visiting? Yes, of course it is, or I wouldn't write the article. It says, are you stupid? Of course I'm going to say yes. I ask questions and I answer my own questions. You can relax on the beach. You can do all kinds of shit. You can Magdalena Peninsula. Enjoy that. Look at that shit. It's one of the most beautiful areas to explore in Santander. It's definitely one of the must-do things to see in Santander. Look at that shit. Ooh, let's get it big. Look at that, peeps. Who lives there? Whoa. Okay, that's fucking cool. I mean, that's freaking cool. Watch out, it's Sunday. Oh my gosh, you can go on a city cruise. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, how fun. Admire the architecture. Look at that cathedral. You can visit Central Bhutan. Central Bhutan. Okay. You can walk through the coastal path, and you can visit Santander's museums. You can also go surfing if you're interested. You could do some shopping and spend some dough. You can enjoy some water sports as well. Oh, shit. Fucking awesome. Oh, boy. Sorry, guys. Sorry for my sidetrack. Let's get back to the XRP ledger and Santander Bank to show you how full of crap that was, what I had read over on the old AI when I asked Google the question. No contraire. Santander is actually a major SWIFT user, also launched OnePay FX using Ripple. Also, Finastra, which you're going to know if you follow Ripple and XRP for the last 5 years, you're going to know that. Whoops, sorry, I thought I had this thing on airplane mode. You are going to definitely know that about Finastra, Volante, SBI, Japan. He's got the CEO with that name. I love to say, and I am not being funny or making fun. I full of respect for this gentleman, and his name is what? Yoshitaka Katao. Yoshitaka Katao. Yoshitaka Katao. Yoshitaka Katao is his name, and he is the CEO of SBI Holdings. So SBI Japan. So SBI is the second largest bank in Japan. Tranglo, which I know some people like to try to pronounce it Trangelo and Trangelo and Trangelo, and I love you guys, and I love you. What the hell's this dude's name over in Florida now? Used to be on the East Coast. Does not have, cheers, Mike, does not have the decency, after I even gave him money and asked him to check my channel, to even say one gosh dang thing. Ripple Van Winkle, that's his name. Hey, what's up, Rip? Way to respect your East Coast bro, dude. Not cool. Anyway, I gotta call out the bullshit out as I see it, but he's excellent for research, and I followed his channel for years, and he's very informative, and I would still suggest, please go check out. He wants to give me no play, but I still will give you play because that shows who I am. I'm your East Coast boy. What up, Rip? I still love you, dude. You wanted to, you probably got busy that day and just didn't do it. Probably no hard feelings, right? So, Rip Van Winkle, what's up, brother? My East Coast boy. Check out Ripple Van Winkle. His channel, and he just started a new channel, helps him support his new channel as well. Shoot, I forgot what his new channel is. But anyway, what's up, Rip? I'm still going to be cool, even though you want to play Ghosty. Finastra, you gave me a lot of information over the years, and I have the utmost respect, and I am forever grateful for all that I have learned from you over the years on your YouTube channel. My turn. Finastra, 9,000 banks. Wow. SWIFT provider, integrated RippleNet. Guys, Volante connects banks to both SWIFT GPI and RippleNet. The trifecta. SBI Holdings, SBI Japan, Yoshitaka Katao. Yoshitaka Katao. Yoshitaka Katao. The trifecta. And no, it's not Trangelo or Trangelo, Rip Van Wink, buddy. It's Tranglo. That's it. Just Tranglo. Doesn't have to be any harder than that. A Zemo. It's not a Zimo, Zymo, it's just simply a Zemo. And dozens of others moving real money across borders with XRP. They aren't experiments, by the way. They're actually production level integrations. And they've been going on behind Yoback for all this time. And by the way, I am laughing my ass off that we literally have 2 viewers in the chat right now, as our channel is nascent and as green as the grass. Some of y'all should be touching sometimes because you kind of douchebags in the comments, but I love you still. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hey, don't be a creeper in the comment. Please go ahead and subscribe. I laugh because I'm waiting for our 2,000 viewers in the comment days and in the chat section, which is coming. Let's continue. We will stay consistent. And let's not forget the Bank of International Settlements, or the BIS. Now, some of you may or may not know about the BIS. The BIS is one of the other largest consortiums in the world that you never heard of. That's the central bank of all the central banks in every country. So every country has a central bank. Ours, of course, is the Fed. The Central Bank of Egypt, of course, is connected with Ripple. Some of you guys knew, some of you guys didn't already. And it's ODL service. By the way, the Fed, the Federal Reserve Board, is our take on the central bank for the United States, created, I'm not going to get into the whole shit on the Fed, created way back, Creature of Jekyll Island. I highly recommend you read that book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. Some of you are very familiar and have already read that book. lays out how the Fed was created, what the Fed does, what the federal dual mandate goal is of the Federal Reserve head that steps up there each 8 times a year to give the FOMC or free. I'm just going to yap now and just educate a little bit. The Free Open Markets Committee or the FOMC, and it lays out what the interest rates, whether we're going to be dovish or hawkish, and whether we're going to go ahead and you know raise them, lower the interest rates, or keep them the same. In other words, whether we are going to turn on the money printers or not and go print the money and create and make inflation go higher. All these things happen. Once one happens, the other happens. Make inflation go higher for us all, and then make it be the cost of food that is higher in the grocery stores, and the gas is higher, and everything's higher inflation-wise. And you try to go rent a bike or something somewhere, an electric bike, and go have fun like we do in Colorado or something. I don't. We have them instead of renting, but you go rent a fun toy or something. It's like, geez, why is it like $50 now for this thing when it was like $40 just like a couple weeks ago? Because it turns into monopoly money where you got a whole shit ton of hundreds, but it's monopoly money. It's not worth that much, right? Its spending power has been eroded due to inflation, due to the money printers being turned on and more being put into circulation, because the head of the Fed, in this case Jerome Powell, don't even do it, Frankie. You're live. Jerome Powell, wants to go ahead and pause now, right? They meet 8 times a year. We got one coming up the end of July. I think it's July 30, 31 here this year. And then I think there's a couple in the fall or so. I mean, end of summer, fall. Guys, another couple in the fall. Guys, here's the deal. The Fed is reactive. The Fed is not proactive. They say they are proactive. They are not. They are reactive as far as lowering the interest rates to try to help the situation of the world. They lower interest rates, they help out a little bit. Okay. They raise interest rates, they help out too. Sometimes they need to raise interest rates, and the American public, I'm sorry to say, needs to feel the pain. Once you understand money and our monetary system and how we have to keep kicking the can down the road, sometimes the best way is to go through 7 years of pain financially for the world, for the U.S., I mean. It takes a while to start to understand this guy's stuff, and I'm not saying I understand it all, because for sure I don't. I'm going to keep myself humble. I am a talking head who has learned quite a bit about money and our financial system over the past 5 years. It is not what you think it is. I'm going to give another example on this. It's not what you think it is. When we see Jerome Powell get up there and read. He is reading the teleprompter. It's obvious he's reading a teleprompter. He is financially adept. He well versed. He knows finance very well. He doesn't necessarily need to read that dang thing. He's got a script, though, that he is reading, and yes, he does have a strong financial background, as did Ben Bernanke, as did Greenspan, as did all the Volcker and all the others in their place, and all the economics guys at all the universities herald these guys and say, oh, these guys are the best things in society. Ben Bernanke, he's a hero, and, great, they idolize these guys, which is like the funniest damn thing in the world to me. Hilarious shit. These guys are up there reading a fucking script. Free Open Markets Committee is not any of those words. Not free, not open, not markets, not committee. It is a 13 board membered council. The head right now is Mr. Jerome Powell. God bless you, sir, getting up there. You're a good reader. Are you a good teleprompter reader? You have to ask yourself how good you are. We have scripts for our videos on the YouTube channel that we have to use a teleprompter for. Why are we better at reading the teleprompter than you, Powell? No, you better get practicing, son. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You do a nice job answering the questions, though, at the end. If you guys have ever seen an FOMC meeting all the way through it and watch this dude answer the questions at the end too, he is very, very good. He immediately does he is a ninja. We have a martial arts background here on the channel, heavy martial arts background. With respect, And he is a martial arts master. We are too here on the channel. This one is on the channel. And this dude is a mental martial arts master, a kung fu master, as he is. Watch him answer the questions. Watch him deflect and pip and move and this and that. Watch this dude move. He is in control. Watch a full FOMC meeting. Okay, so this dude, Jerome Powell, is up there as a talking head. He is reading a teleprompter. It is so freaking obvious, not well. Maybe you should clean up your act, Jerome, and practice just a bit. It's so obvious. You're poorly reading off a teleprompter. All right, here's the deal. When he answers his questions, by the way, before we even get to that, FOMC meeting, this Free Open Markets Committee meeting, what it does is, and we will get back to the Bank of International Settlements, don't worry. I know we left off on BIS. I'm right here on my notes. Relax. This part's important for all you who can't take the old sidetracking. Here's the deal. Jerome Powell is telling everybody that inflation, their dual mandate goal is, of course, to keep inflation below 3% and also make sure that the employment market is healthy. And those numbers are awesome. And I don't remember what their goal is for that. But to keep strong employment markets is their goal. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's get to 3% inflation. Okay, so you have CPI, Consumer Price Index, where we're getting these numbers from, and they're looking at certain commodities and things. And when we look at what the inflation is concerning the Consumer Price Index, and we look at certain commodities and what the inflation level is now versus before, we look at things like, I don't know, let's just say core CPI. So core CPI, which is what is used, and it'll tell you core CPI numbers are blah, 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 blah. Well, did you know that core CPI, of course, and it's mentioned by Powell sometimes, core CPI does not include energy or food. So all the food purchased by every human being in the United States and all the energy, all the gasoline, all the diesel, the electricity that keeps the house going, that keeps the furnace going, that keeps all the machinery going in the United States, the huge diesel monster equipment that's building all these, developments around us, housing developments and everything else, and factories and gigafactories and all this shit, and our cars and the gas and the EVs and all the energy and all the food to keep all the machinery and all the humans running all the machinery in the United States going. Core CPI inflation does not include that. I bet you didn't know that. Some of you know that. Those of you who have been into finance for a little bit know that. That's freaking wacky stuff, guys. Now, check this out. Supercore CPI, Consumer Price Index, does not include housing or shelter as well in this number. So the housing and shelter, the energy, the food, this accounts for about 60 to 64% of what every single American spends their money on each month. And the inflation number that they're giving is not including that. So your inflation number you're getting is not a real number. Your inflation number is more to the tune of about 25 to 30%, something like that. Okay? So, how about we wake up to the truth? Wow. Getting blown up, sorry. How about we wake up to the truth of things and continue? I love it. Oh, we're waking up now, folks. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, we're waking up now. Hold on. We are waking up now. If I can. Okay, good. All right, guys. Here's the deal. Let me get rapping because not that kind of rapping. I've never been a rapper. Although I was going to try. I just can't do it. I don't want to embarrass myself. All right. Here's the thing. What's going to happen over the next... Oh, by the way, Bank of International Settlements. The Bank of International Settlements is the central bank of central banks, laying down the law for all the mandates for all the rest of the central banks on the planet. They're the big boss. Augustus Karsten is the head. He's former Central Bank of Mexico head, and what a cool dude he is. That big boy is the head of all of it. Augustus Karsten. Hello, sir. That is the Bank of International Settlements, and they that lay down the law. They tell the rest of the banks what they're going to be doing. Now, here's the deal. Some of you may or may not know that Ripple was invited to the table alongside SWIFT to design the future of cross-border payments by the BIS. Y'all didn't know that now, did you? I bet a lot of you didn't. Why do you think you might get that kind of invite as Ripple? And by the way, you better hit that like and subscribe down at the bottom. Do you think that might be worth something to anybody moving forward, Ripple and XRP? The fact that the Bank of International Settlements has invited them to the table some time ago to get together and create the actual layout that will be put forth to all the rest of the banks, to the world's banks, by the Bank of International Settlements to come and sit down at the table with the central bank of central banks, for Ripple to be asked to come to the table to lay out how it's all going to work. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to swear again on a Sunday. Are you guys fucking kidding me? Really? Never going to be financial advice on the channel. This is for educational and informational and rarely entertainment purposes only. Holy shit, wake the fuck up! Oh my god, you guys, let's wake up. Okay, now, who's got eyes on this? I don't know. I know we do. We're going to look back on this one day and laugh, aren't we? Ha ha ha. We are going to laugh our asses off. What happens in the next 24 months? You got full ISO 20022 rollout, of course. Making Ripple SWIFT integrations now seamless in the world at this point. CBDCs go live. Nobody wants to hear about that. Central bank digital currencies, which is what stablecoins essentially are, which is essentially what this bill is, which people don't realize in the world. And they're like, oh, I hate those CBDCs. Never, never. Let's go with their stablecoin. The stablecoins are the CBDCs, guys. It was inevitable. It is inevitable. It's the whole fucking point of digital money, is to be able to track like you never could before, because when you need to keep an eye on the billions and billions of lemmings on the planet that keep creating more and more of themselves, you got to be able to, in a leveraged tech way, from an armchair quarterback position, be able to actually keep tabs on these little sumbitches. Think about it. Anyway, now, let's get a little more deeply into this. Full ISO 20022. Frankie's too close to the truth, Mies thinks. Full ISO 2022 rollout, making Ripple SWIFT integration seamless. CBDCs go live. The Ripple ISO and Ripple is already powering pilots in Asia already and the Pacific Rim. Let's please wake the fuck up, people. Banks demand real-time settlement, and they won't wait for SWIFT to catch up, which is why that is the ridiculous answer to my question. Thank you very much. Why in the world would you ever, please, ever, my question to you, please, why would you ever answer me like that? Chat and Google, I don't understand. When I ask you, does SWIFT need XRP and the XRPL in order to thrive as the world's payment messaging service for the world's banks concerning the fast-paced movement of data that the world has grown accustomed to in every facet of life, except for the movement of value across the globe? That is literally the direct question that I asked AI, and it answered me as, nah, SWIFT doesn't need XRP and XRP Ledger to thrive as the world's payment messaging service. Doesn't need it. Bullshit. Bullshit, AI. Oh, don't get me crazy on a topic. I get all passionate. I call bullshit. And so should you, because I am laying out, and I have been laying out for the past hour, 9 minutes, and 36 seconds, the direct opposite of what AI just fucking said. Go check all my facts. What the hell are you talking about, AI? What kind of answer is that, AI? Number three, banks demand real-time settlement, and they won't. They won't wait for SWIFT to catch up. So SWIFT will lasso onto the UFO called Ripple XRP, the XRP ledger, and ODL and the ODL service, the on-demand liquidity service that just does away with the $27 trillion parked around the globe in Nostra Vostra accounts. Ours and their money, Latin for ours and theirs. I could not get another sip of false coffee out of that cup. And now what happens is we have money zipping around at the speed of light with a UFO called the XRP ledger, leveraging XRP and the XRP ledger through on-demand liquidity, getting rid of Nostra Vostra accounts. SWIFT lassos that sumbitch and goes along for the ride because it's so clunky and slow. With this shit as a shitty little cargo plane with a fucking one prop propeller going blah, 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 and some fucking chicken feathers flying out of the back. And it lassos that sumbitch, and just hope it's not the Starship Enterprise trying to breaking apart from going, warp 9. Well, what's the max in the Starship Enterprise old school? Somebody drop that in the comments below. I think it's warp 9, warp 10. Well, give it all. She's gulp, Captain. Swift's gonna fucking break apart with the speed that it's gonna go. Tethering with a carbon fiber titanium core, some crazy other nano element we haven't yet known of, but we're able to keep stable, and it actually can handle the tethered force of this UFO zipping and this cargo plane trying to not break apart, being pulled across the cosmos, moving our value. There's my analogy. There's my advanced UFO analogy. What do they call it now? Aerial phenomena, AP. What the fuck do they call it now? I don't know. The world's got to change now. They got to call it aerial something phenomena. I don't know. I'm ashamed that I don't remember that. I feel like everybody knows that now, and I don't. I'm not going to look it up on the channel. Come on, it's not appropriate. All right. Number 4, RippleNet adoption has been surging, we all know, especially in emerging markets of the world. And SWIFT also faces a choice now, as our 5th point to mention here, on what happens in the next 24 months with this integration of SWIFT and Ripple, the XRP ledger. SWIFT faces a choice. They have to integrate with Ripple or basically now become irrelevant because, well, I don't know about irrelevant, but they're going to start going the way of the dinosaur. More rumors have been growing. There's about 1,700 NDAs at least, and that's been going on for a while. I bet there's probably 10,000. No, there's probably about 5,000 non-disclosure agreements at this point that Ripple holds. Banks quietly testing Ripple and XRP compatibility now. Speculation that a joint solution may surface by 2026. We'll see. It's pretty obvious to me that SWIFT definitely needs Ripple in order to stay relevant, not just stay alive, but to actually thrive moving forward over the next 24 months. And most things are not looking to just survive. They're looking to actually thrive moving forward as organisms or entities or creatures. Particularly in the business world, we're looking to thrive and increase numbers year on year, quarter on quarter, right? We're not trying to stay the same. We're trying to grow and thrive. The world is moving at the speed of light, we know, and the messaging only model, okay, the messaging only model that SWIFT operates on just ain't going to cut it anymore. They require this movement now, this settlement that Ripple offers, this instant settlement, not just the messaging layer that SWIFT has now, but now the instant settlement, the real-time gross settlement, or RTGS, cheap fees, end-to-end transparency, and ISO 20022 native architecture. Swift can't rebuild all that from scratch. See, GPI can't do it. That's the thing. They've got nothing that can do it. They got to do this. I don't think you guys. I don't know if a lot of you really see. It's more than just writing on the wall. It's writing on the wall that's been written in an indelible marker and has neon lights starting to surround it, and the world's starting to see it, and it's starting to operate literally in front of the wall with a working business in operation, being like, see, we said we were going to do it, and it's still up there. See all that neon light saying the shit we're going to do with Swift and everything? This is Ripple talking. See it all? Yeah, here's their operation operating right in front of the fucking wall, in front of the message. Like, literally. It's literally happening, you guys. They're going to reshape global payments, their connection. Now, Swift isn't going to wait too long, right? Because they don't want Ripple to come in and just replace them. We don't think that that's a reality. Swift is not that, they're way too smart for that. No. Swift is going to make sure, sorry, my zipper in my pants is aggravating that I can't, there we go, keep it zipped up because it tugs at me. Yeah, there is it's a coming. It's a coming. This change is a coming. You better tap that like. You better tap that subscribe. You better check our link below for none other than Caleb and Brown, your concierge service for crypto brokerage, your one-time stop, one-to-one backing, not commingling funds, 24/7 access to your crypto broker. You get Fireblock secure, safe custody. Oh my gosh, their Fireblock security is unmatched. It is institutional grade custody. You can feel comfortable about buying and selling on Caleb and leaving your funds parked there. Although I do ultimately, in the end, always recommend parking your funds on cold storage. But everybody's game is different. This is never financial advice on the channel because some folks like to set limit orders, set buy and sells, and when XRP goes flying to never financial advice to $85 a share, whatever it hits. I like choosing numbers that nobody wants to talk about. When it hits $72.87 per share, XRP, then we go ahead and cash out on it. If we're holding, let's say, I don't know, this is a calculator exercise. Let's just say somebody is holding, oh, they made my calculator disappear again. They always do this, meaning my phone. I don't know why my phone moves things on me. Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah. What did I say? $72.63? Something like that. Yeah, with 50,000 XRP, that's $3,631,500 dollars, US dollars, of XRP, if somebody had that many. Now, here's the deal. Does somebody really want to cash out on all their XRP? I don't know. It's never financial advice on the channel. What we're understanding before we close this whole thing is let's be careful. Us on the channel, let's be careful about the world of TradFi, traditional finance, and DeFi, decentralized finance, intermingling and meshing now out of nowhere, right? All of a sudden, Venmo came out and everybody's like, what the hell? All of a sudden, Venmo is just what I use. That's it, right? Same with this stuff, just pops out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you can have your wallet on your phone, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm using crypto. Holy crap. And your bank app, it's all going to be integrated along with X and everything. We all know about the WeChat that they have in China and that place over there. I guess there's certain things you can't say here, so I'm going to be careful with the algorithm. But how silly. But yeah, what's going to happen is the world is going to be using crypto, everybody on their phone, and not realize it. That's what's coming to the world. So, guys, my question to myself, and it's an educational question. Since the worlds of TradFi and DeFi are connecting and intermingling, does somebody really want to sell all their XLM, XRP, whatever it is? Because with staking and lending with the banks, you want to talk about, oh, I don't want to do staking and lending because it's dangerous, and I've said that too, and I feel it's just too nascent, and I'm a little safer. I don't want to be risky like that. Okay. Well, that said, have you ever considered, You have all your money in the bank. I mean, a lot of people have their money in the bank. So you trust your bank. So your bank's going to be offering this, where you're staking through your bank and you're getting a ridiculous 10% return, because it's really like 15 to 20%, but the bank is, or need to take their fat share, right? Fat share. That's fine. Still take 9.99% times, oh, I don't know. Whoops. Let's say that 3.5 million XRP is now gaining 9.99% on the steady every year. It's not in USD. It's only going up in value. So you're not getting your $349,650 on the steady. It's actually going up. It's not just that. It's not just $349,650 that you're getting. Okay? It's not financial advice. So you're not turning it into USD, because the USD is degrading. It's losing its value. I told you before about inflation, to the tune of 30%. Instead of this bullshit, 3, 5, whatever percent they're saying, it's not real. They're telling you it's not real and telling you that they don't include food and energy in core CPI, Consumer Price Index. And they're telling you that in supercore CPI, Consumer Price Index, that they're not including food, energy, nor are they including shelter or housing. They're telling you they don't. Oh boy, guys. So now, you know, that 50,000 XRP is worth $3.5 million at $72 a coin, and it's earning $349,650 for you on a 9.99% interest. Let's switch the game up. Now XRP is worth $1,000 a share in the future here. It's doing everything we've been talking about on the channel for all this time. Sorry about the large sidetrack at the outro, but I had to. Now that 50,000 XRP, of course, is worth 50 million. So now that 50 million earning 9.99% is earning 4.995 mil, almost 5 mil. Not degrading in value, but only going up in value from there, because it's not sitting in USD. Do you see the difference in the two trains? One train is going and tanking. That's the US dollar train. The other train is into crypto and keeps doing it and keeps gaining yield on crypto, as the same crypto they're gaining yield on keeps going up in value. That coin called XRP, not financial advice, educational purposes only. Now that 50,000 XRP, those 50,000 coins, are now worth $5,000 per XRP. That's impossible, Frank. Fuck that shit. No, it's not. You don't know what you're talking about if you say that's impossible. You don't understand this whole thing if you say that's impossible. So now 5,000 XRP. A $5,000 XRP now with 50,000 coins is now $250 million. I know you got to pay tax and all this. It's not really $250 million. It's just an exercise. I get it. You got to pay fees and shit like that. I get it. Okay. Who cares? Call it 200 million, whatever. But that $250 million before taxes and fees and whatever put to work would now be 24.975 million, so just about 25 mil, earning interest on that XRP being staked, being held at the bank for a 9.99% interest. Like I said, really 15% to 18% to 20%, but they're not going to give you that, because beyond the percentage that they normally take, they're going to need to take that other monster percentage from, because they need that. So you can have your 9.99%. You'll still jump up and down for that percentage, because we haven't seen anything from banks anywhere around 4 or 5% since I was a fucking kid. All right, since I was fucking like 12 years old. Okay, come on, guys, let's get real. Okay. This is silly stuff, you guys. I don't understand why the world can't understand. I just don't understand. Why? Because we only have so much energy to invest. And if we can't invest it in crypto, we can't invest it in finance. I don't know where else we're going to invest our time. I mean, we have to just do what we can do. Okay. I understand we only have so much time in the day, and I don't want to begrudge anybody for not learning. But we do the best we can on the channel to help educate. Let's take another quick look at the old market. Let's make sure that I am sharing screen. I am. And let's see where the old crypto market is now after a little bit. Bitcoin down below 100K. God bless it be. Yeah, it's tanker time. Dipcoin. Dipcoin taking a little dip today in the waters. Sorry, Bitcoin maxis. Give me your tears, baby. Give me your tears. Fill up the jars. Dipcoin maxis. They call it Dipcoin. Nah, it's healthy. It's healthy. We need to correct. Based on what happened, the events that happened in the world, we needed to correct. We all saw what happened yesterday. Based on what happened yesterday, what's going on with this puppy? Oh, excuse me. I don't know why we care. I don't know why we care. All right, guys, we're going to sign off for the day. We do appreciate you guys joining in to Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy, with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you guys next time. We love you. Hit that like.